Hey everybody, welcome back to Adrian Has Bees. Today we're just going to do a checkup on these hives. It is July 12th, I think, and we put the honey supers on last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. I'll have to go back and check. But I'm also going to spray paint Worthing on the side of this hive here because we've named this one Worthing. Still calling this one Vienna, even though it's got a little bit of La Paz old hive secondary box there. But thanks for coming along. I hope everyone's having a great summer, and let's go check out the bees. Come on, keep going, smoker. All right, let's get a hive tool, set my phone down. All right, haven't marked the hive yet, but this is Worthing, so we will dig into Worthing first. Loosen up our strap. A little bit of activity up there. That's good. Knowing that the bees are actually up there. There's not too many. You can see some bees there. One thing I didn't think to do was kind of prepare some other honey supers just in case I can run in and get them if I do find that there's a need. Doesn't look like there's too many bees up here, so I'm not going to be too worried about that just yet. They've definitely been building some comb in there. I think that was a frame that had been started before. Yeah, no activity there. A few bees on that frame, but no activity to speak of. No, nothing in that frame. Some comb being built out, which I believe that might have actually been a one that I was trying to get built out. Okay, so here's one that needed some help. Looks like they're working on building out some honeycomb there. Nothing in there yet, though. This is right in the middle. Now, there's no sign of honey going in yet anywhere in here. So, load these back up. Take the super off and we'll dig into the brood boxes down below. See how those are doing. nothing of substance there. Hey, girls. I shouldn't set that on there. So this is heavy. Looks like a lot of resources there, which is good on these outer frames. Is it actually? Yeah, pretty sure that's all resources. So that's good. Let's clean up the edge here since I've got it open. Okay, we've got some brood. We've got a decent brood pattern here. Wouldn't say it's really great, but it does seem to be fine. I'll come and show you guys what I'm looking at. Just checking to see if I have my blue marker pen just in case I come across the queen. So this is a decent brood pattern, I think. Just looking at my bees to see if I can see any kind of any deformed wings. See lots of bees actually just eating some of the resources there. So these are nice. You can see there's some swarm cells that look to be being made there, but hopefully we're not doing that. So now have a look. There's a big old drone right in the middle there. A lot of people might confuse a drone with a queen. The queen is definitely different. The drone, one of the biggest way that I can tell the difference, in fact I see two big old drones there, the eyes that go across, kind of completely across the front. and they meet on the top for the drones. So if you see a big old bee and their eyes go completely across, then that's a drone. If you see a big old bee that has kind of looks a bit like a drone, but she's longer and skinnier and her eyes don't do that, that would be the queen. I don't see on here yet, but I'm pleased that we've got quite a few frames full of bees. So I do believe that it is time for those honey supers to be on. I don't think I was too early on doing that. Yep, more. Lots of brood. More of it. Okay. So I'm happy with the population of Worthing. I had hoped to see more honey production by this time, but this might just not be a good year for it. You know, we have to rely on Mother Nature. So. Let's set that down on its side there. Have a look in here real quick. Oh, there's some honey there too on that end frame, so that's nice. This one's definitely got some resources in it. Lots of honey there, so that's good. That's honey that we won't try and take from the bees down in these brood boxes. This is the honey that we're going to leave. Got them agitated. Lovely. Yeah, the honey that's down here in these chambers here, we will leave for them to eat over time. Huh, okay. Hopefully we start seeing some brood down here, or else might just all be up in that second box. Oh yeah, there's brood down in here. Not as much as I would have maybe thought, but there might be some eggs in there too still. Okay, you girls are definitely excited. Trying to see if I can see eggs. Oh, there's another drone. There's another drone. Lots of drones. Another drone. Okay, there's some larvae and some eggs and lots of things at different stages of growth. I'm hoping that this is going to focus. we're going to assemble this hive back together while these ladies are getting a little perturbed that I'm in their hive, in their home. Okay, so let's check out Vienna here. Don't see a whole lot of activity up here at this side. Let's just see. Yeah, no honey. So since that was right in the middle, that's where they would generally start. We're going to assume there's none in that box. I'll be able to tell in a second when I lift it off. Oh yeah, that's empty. No honey in that super yet. Okay, working on some honey, or working on some comb rather. No sign of honey yet on there. Just gonna go, I'm gonna skip a couple of frames and just go right to the middle. See some brood, some capped brood. So capped brood is baby bees. So the pattern here doesn't look all that great though, and I'll show you what I mean. If I can keep myself from touching one of the bees and accidentally getting stung. So if you look, if there's spotty brood pattern like this, the capped brood, those capped cells are where there's baby bees growing. But when they're not kind of at least 80% across without having either baby larva or something else in there, it's kind of a sign that maybe the queen's not laying well. So that might actually be something that these bees try and replace the queen. I'll let them decide. But you can see here the brood pattern is just kind of spotty, I would say. So not overly impressed with that. But I'm not sure, I'm not prepared to replace this queen, just because I don't have another queen right now. I think what I may do is let nature take its course with this, continue treating for mites. Hopefully, last year, of course, was a really bad year, apparently all over. There were lots of beekeepers, commercial beekeepers. I think I read the other day that about 65% of colonies were lost. So those mites don't actually hurt the bees themselves. They are a pest, but they open up the bees to other diseases and such. So they make them vulnerable, which which is tough for the bees to fight off. So we've always assumed that if we can get rid of the mites, we can keep the bees healthier. So now the mites are becoming resistant to our treatment methods. So it's becoming a little, there's some that are saying maybe we're fighting the wrong battle. Maybe we need to be fighting the viruses themselves and not worrying as much about the mites. Not sure I've learned enough to tell you which side of the argument I would be on right now. I'd like to get rid of all the viruses and the mites, to be perfectly honest. But we'll see how this goes, right? All right, thank you everyone for watching. And with Adrian Has Bees, we're hoping to get some honey this year, but that's not priority number one. Priority number one is keeping these hives healthy and making them strong enough to survive the coming winter. I know it's hard to think about that in the middle of July, but the season is short for these girls to collect all their resources. Of course, Plane decides to come over. All right. So, thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying this journey like I am. Hope to see you back here for the next video. And hopefully you'll see that we'll be collecting some honey by then. But regardless, we want to keep the bees healthy, keep these colonies thriving. And so far, no bees have moved into my swarm catcher, but I can make another whole video on that. So we'll see. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and have a enjoyable rest of your July. Take care.